Hello, and welcome to Emerald Thoth with me, Mark. I hope you're doing well today. So, a couple of songs just popped on my feed before recording this video. Blue October, Fight for Love came up, and We Deserve to Dream by Xavier Rudd. So, there's a sense of fighting for love, fighting for your dreams and the places that you belong, the people that you belong with. And there's this sense in the collective of standing up for the things that you believe in and being in the places that you should be and with the people that you should be with. And that's talking on a soul level as we move and we ascend and we move forward together. It's likely there's places that just don't fit with you anymore, especially if you've been on this path of isolation. But you have to fight, you have to push, you have to move, you have to make the actions, and you have to keep going and be persistent with what you believe in. And that is cutting out those outside voices, cutting off those past traumas, not thinking too far ahead in the future as well, but being where you are, who you are, and with the people and places that resonate with that. Okay, being with the people and places that resonate with that. Let's start with the crows. So, Spirit's taking me to the top of the deck, 34, observation. That came straight out. I've seen quite a few spiders recently, and black spiders as well, in particular. Change, transformation, the collective web. Don't be so afraid of spiders, they're nature's workers. It can represent our fears and symbolism, but what are we really afraid of? And we're all together on this web, especially a lightworker web. So just observe, have a look, and do not be afraid. See where you are, don't get caught in the traps. After that is memory. Now, crows are fantastic with memory. They can remember people who are not so nice to them, and they can remember people who are nice to them, as well as their own kind. They can remember that in human beings, and I'm sure with other animals as well. So maybe it should be a crow, never forgets, rather than necessarily an elephant. But they have this intelligence and this ability to observe and to place who is in their interests and who is not. And so that would follow on from that observation is a sense of memory, is a sense of building a pattern base to know who really is going to serve you and who's not. And sometimes to see the people that are serving you because of your traumas and your own clouded judgments that you might not be seeing it. Also about speaking up for yourself and what is right for you. And after that is play, number 36. So this is getting to that place through the observation and the memory and the thinking in probably the correct way to perceive, or the best way to perceive for you, is getting to a place of play and fun, and even when it rains, just singing and dancing in the rain. Just singing in the rain. So there's fun, there's joy, it's very free of cups type energy going on here. The bottom of the deck is upheaval and wrath, and there's battle at the bottom as well. This is what you're moving away from, using observation, memory, or thinking, and coming into play. Let's see who's guiding from the Divine Masters. At the bottom is Melchizedek. Divine knowledge, higher learning, commit to your vision through study. So talk about that memory or that knowledge base or those patterns base, and to keep being committed to your path and studying those things. And that study can be about the people who are more relevant to you and the people that may be already in your life that are serving a purpose, and to appreciate those and to understand those maybe not serving your purpose and how you deal with those is basically how you deal with different people through a sense of higher learning and through a sense of standing in a higher consciousness and being on a higher path for yourself. Because that learning is always necessary, and it's always helpful for us to move to those places which are on a higher path, and those things tend to come as we look into them, as we observe them, as we kind of think about them, and as we want to change with them. Our knowledge, our learning replicates the changes that we want to make, and how we take that information is going to replicate it as well. How we process that information, how we act upon that information, and the information that we're looking for even in the first place is a replication of where we are within ourselves and along our path. Let's take a card to come out. Okay, so along with that is Mary Magdalene, sacred vessel. You are the answer, be guided to your purpose. A beautiful energy and a beautiful kind face for Mary Magdalene. Red as well, so root chakra and grounding. About the body is Taurus season, which is about the body and self-care, sometimes indulgence, but feeling and grounding things. So, you are the answer, be guided to your purpose. Again, it's a reflection, that path that you're on, where you want to go is a reflection of where you are in your mind state. You can take it to a more extrapolated sense of where you're being guided to go and what's in your soul plan, but it's also about you taking that action with all this red and this fire, in a sense, within your own sacred vessel. Be guided to your purpose, and you are one of those guides. We talk about higher guides and spirit guides, and they're all around you, but you are also your own guides. And by doing that, by being your own guide, you are selective of who is going to come in, either on the earthly realm as guides, mentors, family members, friends, lovers, partners, colleagues, or in the spirit realm, equally what kind of spirit guides are there for you. Most spirit guides are more benevolent, to be honest, so when you tap into them, you generally be going that way. But how you take the information and how clearly it's coming through, and making sure that there's not so much malevolence or trauma that's blocking you for that, is also key in how you receive the information and where you go with the information. At the bottom is the blue beings. Light transmission, wounds healed, important information charging up. And with that also is Horus, manifestation, vortex. Belief makes manifest, thoughts attract and create. So here it is, this healing phase, it's this understanding phase with an action phase. The force that you attract and create, and what you are thinking is going to attract and create what you are mirroring back to the universe. And just underneath that is inner fire with Bridget. Let your passion lead you to your purpose. You know, a good grounded sense. And the 4 seasons here, and like the Mary Magdalene concept of be guided to your purpose, let your passion lead you to your purpose, because it's within you, and your passions are uniquely yours. And as you follow your passions, so the guides, both earthly and spiritual, will come in to support you on that journey, as long as you're willing to support yourself and you are healing and clearing yourself as much as you can. Okay, let's see which ancestors are coming in. So the card that's come out is the Empress, or in this card, the Matriarch. Nurture the harvest. This is being divinely cared for, being divinely protected and held. But also, again, a little bit like in Taurus season, this card relates to Venus in the tarot, and Venus is the ruler of Taurus. But it's saying reap the things that you've sown, or reap the good karma from the path that you've been on where you may have been working through or negative karma. But when you have that sense of feeling loved and cared for within yourself and by the guides and by the people around you, you start to manifest that abundance because you feel abundant. And even it's a change in perception for those people around you who you don't quite understand and probably don't quite understand you. Sometimes you have to take them as you are. Sometimes you have to work a bit harder to understand their point of view and how they love differently and how they care differently to you, and how in some ways they might not have the spiritual capacity of you. But if you understand that and there's different ways that you show love compared to them, then you can still understand that you are loved, rather than thinking that you are not loved and not understood. It's just the way that people can love and understand you is only in the way that they can do it. And nobody will fully understand any other person's background and living sense. Even twins who've been each other all the time, they're not there for every experience, and they're not born with the same mindset, even though they may be naturally telepathic and can understand each other very well. It's just that nobody has your path, and you don't have anyone else's. And to understand that, and to see how there is love and compassion on a higher vibration of that, rather than the fear and the anger and the feeling of being abandoned and misunderstood, then you start to join with a higher sense of consciousness, and people will come with you, and they're starting to, it's becoming more of a case across the earth that people are coming with that higher vibration in the ways that they're capable of doing, and based on their life paths and their family history and their soul history. Well, let's finish up with a time traveler's oracle. Quite a lot of information in 12 minutes. So let's take them as they came. The first card is magic, which came out yesterday. So you are working with magic. You are magic. You have that holy grail of fire and water. You are on an adventure. Whether you're moving physically or not, at least you are on an adventure within your heart and soul, and quite probably your mind, because a lot of us are in the mind space, spiritual or not. Is this case of you have this, and you are shining and you are balancing this magic. Glastonbury, Britain. You're coming out of the woods in a way. You're coming out in the woods and looking to move and to serve your purpose and to serve a higher purpose, whatever that means for you. And then is number 3, adventure. So this leads on to coming out of the woods and moving on to adventure. The Silk Road in Mongolia. Now that may not be easy. It's in arid landscapes, desert. The camel represents persistence and patience and endurance and still movement and adventure. And you're on your way to happiness. This is where you want to go. This is the things you want to study for and understand and learn and apply. Is how do I get to happiness? Shambhala in the Himalayas. It's a temple. And that's your own inner temple, and that is these own outer temples, or places where you can find your tribe and community. And that's not necessarily literally a temple, but there are places that vibrate with you and your soul tribe. And that's what you're looking for, and those are the places you're looking to find. And what is giving a sense at the bottom of the deck is peace. 29, St. Francis of Assisi, Italy. And I believe that St. Francis of Assisi had a lot of material things. He was quite well to do, if I remember that story correctly, but gave it all up, to look for that peace, that enlightenment, that happiness, that joy, that love. Because these really do mean more than just the material things. You need a mix that's generally out of kilter in this world of the material balance and the more spiritual, emotional fulfillment that we go for. That abundance doesn't necessarily mean things. This is a village, it's not quite an opulent card, but the enlightenment around the Empress's head shows the kind of happiness you're looking for is something like consistent peace. And that is your sun. That is your vitality. That is what makes your miracles. So, a lovely message to get. And also at the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups on the Ancestors, number 27, altar of water, love overflowing. And that is that kind of happy, abundant state that really a lot of us are seeking for. And we're just adapting our mindsets and how we perceive things, how we perceive each other, how we perceive the world, how we perceive ourselves. So we can look to get there and help others come along. Thank you for being here. I love you. I appreciate you.